Hey babes, and welcome to another chit chat. So, I have I haven't been posting on the channel for, I think it's coming up to 2 weeks, and I wanted to let you guys know why and what's kind of been going on with me and my life and my head and things like that. So right now I have a friend who is dealing with a very abusive relationship, and the circumstances are kind of rough. Her family isn't helping her, and no one really wants the responsibility of helping her out and taking her to the places that she needs to go and taking care of legal stuff and things like that. And she needs a place to stay. So I have taken her in, and I've been helping her, get to places like bridges and anything that she needs help with, trying to deal with the situation. So that's kind of where all of this started, why I wasn't originally posting. But I think the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about, the biggest thing that has affected me, is the video that I have tried to make about 3 times already. And if you follow me on my Instagram, you already know I've been keeping a post in my story about the Yulin Dog Meat Festival and a donation link to a company that I really like. So I wrote a post today on my Facebook that if you guys are interested, I will leave the entire post in the description if you want to read along. I won't be leaving any graphic content in here because it is so just, it's such hard content to see that I don't want to push that out on anyone, especially people that just might want information on it. I don't know if any of you guys know about the festival, and yes, it is pretty explanatory. It's in Yulin. They like to eat dog, but I'm going to cover some of the stuff that I want to talk about because I feel like in the previous versions that I've recorded this video, I've just been letting my emotions kind of take over the video instead of actually being able to get helpful information out, and I don't like that. I want to be able to inform you guys, and I feel like I need to be in a little bit more of a clear headspace to do that, and right now I'm feeling not too bad, but I was not feeling right in the head. I could not focus at all because all I was seeing was the very graphic content. It's so close to my birthday that this month is just really hard for me because I feel so helpless, and the fact that I can't do nothing to me is not enough, and I don't feel like even donating everything I have is enough, and it's just, it hurts me a lot to see something like that I would love for and fight for, and knowing that I can't do anything about it just yet. And that's the reason that I want to build this platform so much, is because I want to use it for things like that I believe in, that I want to fight for, and that I want to change. But let me pull up the post. Again, if you guys want to kind of read along with what I say, I'll leave it in the description. But I just want to give you guys some information on it if you want to know. The only reason I'm kind of talking about it in this video, it's kind of a venting situation, but I want to be able to let you guys know that right now I'm feeling better than when it started, and I'll be trying to get back into the mood of recording 3 days a week. That's why I'm looking half decent, like I'm looking like a 4 instead of a 2 today, guys, because I'm gonna actually be recording tonight, and I want to be able to get videos back out again. I thought about taking this week as kind of a silence, but I feel like silence is part of the problem, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it. And if you guys can't hear the kind of methods of torture and abuse that they put against them, then I would just click off now and know that I'm really going to try to be back, in a hope that how I'm feeling about this doesn't carry too much over into the next few videos. But I felt like I really needed my time to just take a break, calm down, and kind of clear my head over the situation, because I couldn't focus on anything, and I really couldn't do anything Like, it really makes me want to just get into, like, a super depressive state, and it really affects me very hard. So videos should be coming soon. I'll see what I can get out. I really just needed to let you guys know where I am and what I was going through. I don't feel like I can just hop back into trying to be fun and bubbly and trying to make you laugh, because if there is that kind of disconnect in the next few videos, I need you to know where I'm at. And I didn't just want to abandon the channel and give you guys no reason as to why I have been gone for these 2 weeks. So I hope you guys understand, and I'm going to be giving you some facts about yulin now. So for me, seeing content about yulin is not an everyday thing, but I see a lot of abused animals every day. I follow a lot of accounts on my Instagram that are constantly, they show you, you know, what injuries the animal has, and, you know, they need the donations, they need to do the procedures and things like that. But I do follow these accounts of people that, you know, go to yulin and they fight to get these dogs to a better place. And that is something that I would love to be able to do one day. I don't know if I could ever walk into that place and still come out breathing, but dogs are my world, so to see something like this happening, and it's just... So the Dog Meat Festival starts on June 21st and goes until the 30th. Like I've mentioned, I've seen a lot of abused animals in my past. Most of the time, it's not videos. It's... Even when it's videos, I feel like for me, it's hearing, like, the cries of this animal. And just knowing, like, to hear something screaming and, like, begging for, like, pain to stop and its life to just be over is, like, one of the most heartbreaking things ever to see or hear in your entire life. If you're interested in actually seeing some of the graphic content, I will leave the Instagram of the company that I like, as well as their page and their donation page in the description as well. Petitions really bother me, and I know petitions can sometimes be a good thing, but when it's in another country that's not your own, we have no control over what they do, and we can't go in and tell them, like, you guys are doing bad things, when we have a lot of really awful methods of slaughter and things in our own houses. There has been a petition to stop the yulin dog meat festival, and it keeps popping up every single year this happens because people care about it, but when you're in the United States, I don't feel like we have any right to come in and tell them that, especially when this festival only lasts a week and the dog meat trade is around, you know, the entire year. So you can't make 1 week illegal and the rest of it is fine. So I really hate that petition. But the petition that was signed, it had 9 million signatures, which is absolutely crazy. And it was never brought forth. And even if it was, I know that it never would have been looked upon and made a change. And I say that because yulin technically is not an official event. It technically doesn't exist. It was taken off of an official event listing due to some outside criticism. So now their government can't really do anything about the situation because the festival doesn't exist. And yulin in itself only accounts for 0.01% of all of the dog meat trade in China. Yulin kills 10,000 to 15,000 dogs in that 1 week alone, and in China alone annually they kill 10 to 20 million dogs and over 4 million cats. A lot of people ask, why do they eat dog meat in China? And the reason to that is they do have a tradition and history of eating dog meat, but a lot of it is superstition as well. They believe it can bring luck, good health, ward off disease, and can heighten a men's sexual performance. And if you think any sort of meat can do that to you, I want you to really think about that and think about how stupid that sounds. So is it a good idea to buy dogs from yulin to try to rescue them? And that is a huge no. And the reality of the situation is buying these dogs is not helping rescue them, and it's not doing what you want to be doing in the long run. You know, the dog meat industry is like everything else. It's supply and demand, and especially if you are purchasing these dogs, it gives them money now to go buy more dogs. And even if they're not buying more dogs, like many of them already are, they are stolen pets. A lot of them actually still have collars on from your homes. So you can imagine someone coming into your home and taking your animal out of the backyard, and now it's living in agony for the rest of its life. So here is where I have the biggest issue. And I say the same thing about the slaughter that we have in the United States. Pig, cow, sheep, goat, whatever you eat here, all I want is for them to be killed humanely. I want their living conditions to be better. We need to work towards a compromise before we can ever work towards getting rid of other certain things. And you can't expect to go into a situation, especially a different country, where this might be tradition to them, and expect to stop it right then and there. You cannot do that. But how are the dogs slaughtered? And is it torture? So again, if you guys are not comfortable with hearing some of the methods, they are pretty gruesome. You can leave now. But it is torture, and it is done in front of the public. It is done in front of the other dogs that they take. So it just causes this rush of, like, massive... It's just a bunch of panic. And, like, can you imagine seeing someone be tortured and you're in a cage knowing that you're next? Like, you would be fighting so hard to try to get out of that situation, and knowing that you can't. Knowing that they can't fight for themselves and no one is stepping in and helping is so disgusting. So a lot of them are originally, when they're transported, they're stuffed into cages that are way too small for one dog, let alone God knows how many they're stuffing into that one cage. And they're in these trucks. I don't know how many days or how many hours or whatever it is that takes them to transfer them to here, to there. And the best, absolute best way that they can go out is either through starvation or hunger. And that's not two methods that you'd want to go out by, but that is the most humane way you could die there. There's just so many things wrong with this, and it's like, all of this can be stopped if it's just humanely done. Of course, I would still have an issue personally with eating dog meat, but I would be way less affected if they were not tortured to death. If you could do everything you needed to do to eat them, if you just killed them humanely, it would change a lot for them. Unfortunately for these dogs, they believe that the adrenaline in the meat, it makes it taste better. And I don't know if that's kind of a cover-up for them just wanting to do the torture, because when you see these videos, or you just hear them laughing, and I have no idea how you can look at another life, seeing it struggling and screaming, and laugh at torturing it. Like, it's beyond belief. I wish I could understand, and I wish I could, like, cut into the brain and try to understand, like, why that makes you happy, and I wish I could learn how to stop it from there. Obviously, I can't do that. But anything you think can happen has and will happen, and the worst thing that you think can happen will happen, and it'll probably be worse than anything you could have ever imagined. They're beat to tenderize the meat and to loosen the skin. They can be skinned alive, dismembered while alive. They can either be bled out through being stabbed in the neck or in the groin. They are hung up by their throats and burnt to death with blowtorches. They are boiled alive, electrocuted, and even puppies that need to be born are cut out of their mothers and boiled. In some religions, they're they are even crucified or nail gunned to the wall, and sometimes they are even kept alive to suffer up to 40 hours. And I think that is the hardest part of this entire thing. Again, if you could just kill them humanely, even if it's just a neck slit, is better than anything that's going on over there. Just take care of one thing, let them pass, and then do whatever you need to do after that. And that is the compromise that I would be willing to make right now. How can you help stop the Yulin Dog Meat Festival? Of course, if you're in the United States, it's a bit more tricky. If you're in China and you can make a difference and you can talk to your legislators and you can protest and you can do everything you can, you are my hero, and I respect the hell out of you for putting yourself in a situation like that, and please never ever stop fighting. But what is something that the people that are not in China that are looking in on the situation and realizing that that's wrong, what can you do to help stop it? The only thing that we really can do right now is donate to the companies that are fighting against Yulin and rescuing the dogs from Yulin. They are constantly in need of money to fly them back, heal whatever injuries, and do whatever procedures that these dogs need. They need to shelter them before they can find forever homes, and so much more. Like, you rescue these dogs, and it can take years for them to be okay. Again, I'm going to leave the donation link in the description below. So if you feel like you have anything, even $1, $5, it is so much better than nothing. And there are plenty of ways to volunteer if you don't feel like you can donate the money at the time, because I get it, like, the world sucks, money's tight, everything runs off of money, and it's hard to let it go sometimes. The biggest thing, the most helpful thing you can do is foster the animals. You know, shelters only have so much space, they only have so much food and resources and things like that, and if you can foster a dog and kind of give it a temporary home before they find a forever home for it, you're helping so much more than you even realize. This particular company will also help cover the cost of food, medical care, and supplies needed for taking in and fostering dogs. They also need home checks, so before someone can adopt or become a foster, the home needs to be inspected. You can do some fundraising. If you have an idea that may help bring some money in for the animals and the company and the shelters, contact them and they would be happy to work with you and kind of help come to a conclusion on what you can do to help fundraise some of the money. They also need some dog walking and cleaning, just walking the dogs and cleaning the living space. They need drivers to be able to transport the dogs to appointment, and again, the gas costs will be covered from this particular company. And then the last thing they have on here is grooming, and if you just want to help transform their conditions to feel, look, and smell better, then they would really love that. And if you guys have any questions that I didn't fully cover here, I will do the best I can to my knowledge to answer them for you. I might not have every answer to every question you throw at me, but I will leave a few links of different, websites that have some facts on them, so you guys can go read upon that. Again, I'll leave the links to the company that I like in the description below, so you can look at what everything's going towards, what his goal is, what he's doing towards working for laws in the United States, as well as trying to stop Yulin and everything like that. I would love to work with them one day. So that's kind of all I have to say about the festival, and just that every kind of time around this year, I feel like it just gets harder for me, especially that particular week. If I, start having trouble again towards later June, I want you guys to know why. I think I'm going to try to do something. I don't know yet. I really wanted to do something to bring awareness to the subject, and right now all I can do is talk about it. But I wanted you guys to know why I wasn't on the channel for those 2 weeks, and I just could not clear my head enough to make a decent enough video. But right now, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like I'm going to be able to make content for you guys again. So please look forward to that, and I'm sorry for neglecting this channel a little bit, but I hope you guys understand where I was coming from, and I hope that you guys can even donate $1, and I will thank you for that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.